everybody. It's Monday. Happy Monday. Wake the hell up. Yes, it's, oh, wow. I should probably fix this. Let's just pull myself back together here. Hi, happy Monday. It's the Morning Night Live, that show where we talk about what's happening in the world. And, boy, we have got a lot to talk about because I kind of, I've spent a lot of time talking about our good friends to the north, and I have some stuff about that today, but I'm going to try really hard to not only focus on that today because there's just so much going on. But one of the reasons that I was saying wake up is, did you know that in Canada, there was a terrorist attack, according to, well, I don't know if the government said there was the government said that the truckers were they likened them to terrorists, but then there was a terrorist attack, but it wasn't in Ottawa and it wasn't on the border. And the media is sort of looking at it, but they're so hung up on truckers. And boy, I got to tell you, I didn't recognize Canada over the weekend. It was weird. They're doing some, I don't get it. I don't get it. And that's all I got to say about that until I play the intro and maybe even get some of these notifications out, which I failed to do. I apologize if you won't know because I didn't send you a notification yet, but there's going to be a notification going out on all the social media things that I do. And by the way, I don't have my Truth Social account yet. I might be lightening the load when it comes to social media accounts, by the way, just to let you know. Anyway, we'll talk about all that and more after the intro. Johnny, get to work. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way, but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, Dawg Knight. All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as Dawg Knight on the internet. And welcome back to the Dawg Knight Channel, or if it's your first time here, hey, I don't know how you found me. So anyway, welcome to the Dawg Knight Channel. And it is, like I said, the Morning Night Live. It is Monday, the 21st of February, 2022. And I'm quite happy that you're here. I'm quite happy that I'm here. And hopefully you're having a lovely morning and hopefully you had a great weekend. Now, usually on Mondays, I like to talk about my weekend. Today is no different. As most of you know who hang out with me on Saturday mornings, we did our normal trail stop stream, and that was quite fun. In fact, we had such a great time at the trail stop stream. I had to go home and take a nap afterwards. Part of it because I had a 22 hour day on Friday. And so when I got done having multiple Bloody Marys at the trail stop, I needed a nap because, that's kind of something us old people kind of need. And I say old as in older than a handful of you. Some of you are about the same age. I guess I'm not really that old, but it sounds funny when I call myself old, I guess. Anyway, so that was a lovely day. And then but after the nap, we went back to the trail stop to engage in more liquid entertainment. And then we watched a part of the Gopher hockey game, which is pretty good. They did well. And they won their game. And then Sunday, holy smokes, we went to, this is my cup of reparations, by the way. You see this? Who can tell me? This is a piece of art by a famous artist. Okay. You can, if you know who that is and what the work is on the coffee cup, that is called foreshadowing, as in, wait, did I already do this? I already did that on this one. All right. I got all my notifications out. Good. Let's just cancel that because that's not what I want to do. We went to this really, really cool thing. Okay. It's an art gallery, so to speak. And it's called it's a Van Gogh Immersion Experience. Yes, very good, Tyler Alexander. Van Gogh, Starry Night, same Avocado Stably, very good. So we went to this thing called the Van Gogh Immersion Experience. And what it was is it has there's these two giant rooms, and they both show the same show. And it's about a 33-minute show, okay? And you go in and you sit anywhere in the room, and they have like probably 60 projectors up in the ceiling, right? And what happens is you're sitting in this room, and all these Van Gogh works come on to the walls entirely surrounding you in the room. And then there's also mirrors on the posts coming down or whatever. And all these Van Gogh paintings and, pieces of work are kind of melded together, and they all come alive, and they move, and they change. And like there's like some of some of the scenes that he paints, they come across the room, and the things are moving in them, and the candles are actually burning, and it's to music, and it's just the coolest thing I think I've ever been to when it comes to art. They take this, they take all this art of Van Gogh, and it comes to life, and it's changing on the screens. And I'll probably post some clips, because they let you videotape it, they let you take pictures, they don't care, because honestly, even the video that I can show you will not do it justice. It is something you just need to go to. It's so cool. And like I said, it might be one of the coolest art experiences I've ever had, especially just knowing, and I've seen, we've gone to museums and stuff, and I love art, but this was just amazing. It was this multi-sensory experience, and it was neat. It was really neat. And I don't know. They say that they have some of these. This is the place where it was created in the Twin Cities here, but they've also, let me sound like a Canadian. They've recreated in other places too. But I'm telling you, it was mind blowing. It was so cool, and it's so hard to even explain. So anyway, the whole thing was just fascinating, especially, growing up, my father was an art teacher, and I spent a lot of time at the school he worked at on weekends, and I'd watch him draw, or I'd build, it was cool because his school had a couple, some pottery wheels, and had a kiln and whatever. So I used to make a lot of little clay pots and dinosaurs and shit when I was a kid. But this was, oh man, I'm telling you. If you look it up, I wonder if you can look it up here. Let's see. Van Gogh Immersion. Just look up Van Gogh Immersion. And here it is, Van Gogh Expo. I see they have also have it in Washington and Seattle. Let me see here. Let me look at this. The immersive experience. Choose your city. So you can choose multiple cities. They have in Atlanta, Cincinnati, Boston, Houston, Las Vegas, Miami, New Orleans, New York, Philadelphia, Raleigh, Seattle, Washington, D.C., Dallas, Dublin, Bristol, London, New York. Okay, these are just the ones. Oh, that's interesting, because I believe it started here, and they don't have Minneapolis listed. But it is the coolest damn thing you'd ever see. And apparently they have a way you can do it. Oh, I see. They have multiple ones in multiple cities. They also have them where you can do it on what are those things? Those things you put on your face? Those things. Virtual reality. things. You can do it through there too. It's amazing. If you get a chance to go to one, you definitely must go to it. It's just the coolest damn thing I've ever seen. So, in fact, here, I'll just show you. Here's the I'll show you the screen here that, this is the ad for it, the website. It says just vangoghexpo.com. And, so this is the kind of thing you see as you're in there. You can kind of see the different, scenes and stuff, but it was amazing. It's, you know, it's only a 33 minute presentation, but oh boy, was it cool. All right. Do they supply the LSD or do we have to bring our, you know what? You don't even need it. I'm telling you, you don't even need it because it blows your mind. In fact, we sat through it twice because there's just so much going on. And it's, like I said, it's like in a warehouse sized room, and it's 360 degrees around you. So you kind of have to pay attention because it's not all the same. Well, the other cool thing about it too is, like, for example, when I show you this part here where you can see where these are going, it's seamless too. It's really weird because you got, like I said, there's like 60 cameras putting this out. I don't know if they're laser cameras or what they do, how they do it, but there are no seams like between the cameras either. And there's like this one point where this hand goes from the end of one wall and it goes all the way across the wall and then around the other wall to you. And it's just completely seamless. It is, like I said, I was blown away by this thing. So anyway, that was that. So like I said, if you get a chance, you gotta do it. Okay, but we gotta get in the show. Let's get into first a couple things. Oh, where did that move to? I was trying to see I had a couple things that are trending. And that was that. Okay, let's just talk about a couple things that are trending real quick, and then we'll get into what I wanted to talk about today. First of all, when I was talking about Truth Social launched, I guess, yesterday. I haven't really... Oh, did I do my notification today? Yes, I did. Okay, good. Truth Social, the new social media, basically Trump Twitter has launched, and apparently they had they had some glitches, I guess. Let's see here, right here. They had some glitches to start. Apparently it was released on Apple App Store Monday per Reuters, I guess. And let's see, there's a Reuters article here. But they had some glitches, so to speak. Oh wait, Devin Nunes, the former Republican congressman who heads Trump Media and Technology Group, TMTG, told Fox News on Sunday that he expects the app to be fully operational, at least within the United States, by the end of March. Apparently they put the app out. Apparently it's live. So here's a couple people who are on it. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I might be dumping a bunch of my social media sites because, and not because I'm adding Truth Social, because I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced that I'm going to, whether or not I'm going to get on Truth Social, because I don't necessarily need an echo chamber. One of the reasons I don't necessarily go on a lot of these other sites that I'm on, other than to use it as a notification machine, is because they're a little bit, what's the word? Circle jerks. Okay, they're kind of circle jerks, and it doesn't, not that I don't agree with a lot of people on these sites. I do. They're it's my ideology, right? I tend to be on the right, and I tend to be on, the kind of the freedom train, and I'm libertarian right, I guess, but if everyone's there is libertarian right, then I don't really learn anything. So I stay on Twitter mostly because there are a lot of things I can disagree with and react to and look at and go, that's stupid. That makes sense. That's okay. That's not okay. You know what I mean? And so Truth Social, is it just going to be Trump Social, or is it going to be an actual freedom of speech platform? Now, Um, and the other part too, and I don't spend a lot of time on Gab. But I probably if of the other social media outlets, I probably spend the most time, other than Twitter. I'm occasionally on Facebook, right? Okay, just because that's my friends and family network mostly, and also I use Facebook Marketplace to sell shit. But I go on Minds too. Now Minds, while there's just a little bit more variety of people, it's still mostly people on the right, but I enjoy Minds because there's a little bit different content than there would be on Twitter or some of these others. But the other ones, like Cloud Hub, it's Trump circle jerk. Parler is kind of Trump circle jerk. Getter is kind of Trump circle jerk. And I'm assuming that Truth Social is also going to be Trump circle jerk. I probably shouldn't even use that term because that sounds weird. But we'll see. I think there's probably going to be a little bit more media involvement on Truth Social, only because that's where Trump's going to be. But I'm not necessarily a Trumper. Okay, I thought he was better than the other guy, but I've never owned a MAGA hat. I don't believe in that one person can save the world kind of thing, right? We have a system that makes one person getting too much power a little bit more difficult, which is good. I don't want to be able to wake up and find out that my prime minister declared an emergency without any really strong support from the rest of the government of the people. And especially for shit like a protest, where they can just start claiming rights. I don't want that here. And so I guess if I want to hear their ideas, I'll go over there once in a while just to see what's over there, and then I'll go, oh, that's the same shit that I can get over here, and his supporters over here, and then whatever. I don't think it's going to knock Twitter down a notch. I don't think it's going to, I think Twitter, unfortunately, or fortunately, whichever you prefer, is going to remain, kind of the big deal for at least for now, but we'll see. All right, so anyway, that's trending. And also they had a glitch. That was the other big thing. They did have a glitch. It's not in the Twitter posting of this. Just as former President Donald Trump's Truth Social app launched in the iOS App Store in the U.S. at midnight on Monday. And apparently it's live. Scott Pressler is showing his page on Truth Social. Now, it's just another Twitter clone, though. I don't necessarily need another Twitter clone. Whatever. So anyway, and it was the number one download a couple days ago in the App Store. Truth Social surpasses 100,000 new users. Ooh, how many users does Twitter have right now? They got a long way to go, but still. I have a marker of my name set aside on Truth Social. I just haven't opened it. We will be put on the no-fly list if we join. Good question. I mean, will we be labeled terrorist for just being on there? Good question, Candid Hotep. So anyway, and it's trending just because they had a little glitch to start. But again, they're not really the Truth Social hashtag summarize. They so mad, LOL. Yeah, a lot of people are. They're mad. Adam Kinzinger, the anti-Trump Republican on the committee. Truth Social media sadly thrives in conflict. Truth Social, which is ironically named, will be boring and fail because it will be all Trump-fed drones. But please don't come back to real social media. If you left for Trump and Nunes' great idea, you get your one shot. Hey, Adam Kinzinger, GFY, my friend. If people want to come back and go back and forth and whatever, who gives a crap? Let them. You don't. That just tells me you don't want to have to justify what you think from people that you don't like. GFY, brother. GFY. All right. Also trending. I'll say good morning as soon as I get done with the trending stuff. Tim Scott's trending right now. Apparently, they're mad at some people are mad at Tim Scott because he said that Trump is the voice most powerful in politics and the right. So there's still going to be. He still urges GOP unity. Some people, Steve Schmidt, the human penis, that's the midget human penis, who was part of. What do they call that? The Lincoln Project, the pedophile project, aka the Lincoln Project, says disgusting. Let's unpack. Tim Scott just said Trump gets to decide the future of the party and the country because he's still the loudest voice. That explains perfectly why the country is unraveling, loud, stupid, banal, full of malice. Oh, he must have been looking in the mirror when he said that. Here's what people are pissed off about. Here's Tim Scott talking to Maria Bartoloma Joma. But yeah, whatever. Budweiser, Roma.
Senator, you said that President Trump has still the power in the party. Does that mean you would be willing to join his ticket? Are you going to run in 2024?
Oh my
or would
God,
you be,
Maria, shut the. What a stupid question. Come on, Maria. Come on. Anyway, let's see what the answer is.
Into a vice presidential role in a Trump ticket.
Well, I think everybody wants to be on President Trump's bandwagon, without any question. One of the things I've said to the president is that he gets to decide the future of our party and our country because he is still
the latest incumbent president. That's not unusual, by the way, Steve Schmidt, you human penis midget. Anyway.
Loudest voice. What I hope happens is that we rally around the principles that lead
now. This is the part that's more important than what he said about Trump.
What I hope happens is that we rally around the principles that lead to our greatest success. I am not looking for a seat on a ticket at this point. I am, however, looking to be reelected in South Carolina. So
all right, good for Tim Scott.
You win next Friday's football game before thinking about any other one. So that's my primary responsibility. So
notice that answer, but everyone is worried about his Trump part of the answer. And then finally, another thing trending on Twitter is CPAC. Apparently CPAC has begun. Oh, Tulsi Gabbard is going to CPAC. She's going to speak at CPAC. Now that's an interesting development because Tulsi Gabbard is not a conservative. Although she does seem to jibe with the principles of freedom of speech, freedom of expression, association. She calls out the bullshit of her own ilk. But you know what? They invited her to CPAC. Now that's fascinating. But they have banned the American First types. What's the little dickhead's name? The celibate dude. What's his name? That Nick Fuentes, who, look, I disagree with deplatforming Nick Fuentes. I think he's one of those voices that I think says some really wrong things, and he says a few things that are right. But to deplatform him, no. Just let him say his dumb shit, and if people don't like his dumb shit, they can disregard or argue with his dumb shit. And sometimes he says things that make sense, but I don't want to. Oh boy. Anyway, Tulsi Gabbard is another WEF child, just like Trudeau. Don't trust her. Yeah, I'm not. Like I said, it's interesting that she'll be speaking to CPAC, and then certainly the lefties who hate her are just going to be fired up about that. So they'll be bitching about that. CPAC not invited. Big Bird, Ernie, and Bert. Well, of course they're not. Because the GOP only likes puppets they control. Aw, isn't that cute? Yeah, it is fascinating that Tulsi Gabbard is going to be there. So anyway, that's all trending on Twitter right now. So that's enough of that. Let's say good morning, everybody, and let's get into some news. First in the chat today is our friend Advocatus Diaboli, who gets the bell. Thank you, sir. for being here. You're a great American. Also, good morning, Will It Forge. Nice to see you. It's Mike Savage, Blarg. The Shroom is in the house. Nice to see you, TOS. Also, good morning, Ty Alexander. Oh, Ty Alexander, I'll have to play the newest proverb for the current year, which courtesy of Ty Alexander. Nice to have you here. Good morning, Jaeger Pony, my favorite Canadian. Also, good morning to Jamie Malquist. Nice to have you back. Unacceptable Views from the West, aka West, not Kanye, just West. Good morning, DI Freighter Watcher. What's up? Attack Alpacas in the house. Good morning. Also, hello, Somnambule Nation. And let's see. I have to scroll a little bit here to figure out who else is here. Aaron Meredith, hello. Septus Wolf. Maddie's in the house. Truckers Unite. Also, good morning to Cannon Hotep. Salute. Also, good morning to is that it? Are we a little light today? Black Hebrew Israelite.
That's right.
Good morning, sir. Also, Mass Creation Broadcast. And I think that could be everybody. At least it's in the chat. Oh, and James Colley. Good morning. Just a reminder, please hit the like button sometime during the show. If you remember that helps every time. Also, share the stream before, during, after the show. That always helps every time. And also, if you want to sponsor the show, you can go to PDawgKnight.live where the Streamlabs link is, or the YouTube Super Chats, or the other stuff that's in the description down below. And if you're watching the replay, put a comment in the comment section. Wow, we're really light today. Where is everybody? That's weird. I put notifications out. Somebody's got to know. Also, real quick, thank you to Somnambule Nation and Maddie for tweeting out the show. I think, who else did? Will It Forge and Simius also. Oh, no. Will It Forge and, retweeted my tweet of the tweet of the tweet of the show of the tweet. So thank you for doing that, as you often do. All right. Let's talk about something else going on in Canada that we didn't hear as much about, but there was. So Justin Trudeau was kind of alluding to the idea that some of these truckers had tendencies of terrorists. He mentioned that word, and the police have used that word, and they said they're, using words like occupation and terrorist and misogynist and racist and all that shit. All the words that, would make someone be a bad person. So he thinks the protesters are bad people, right? Well, there was a terrorist attack in Canada that didn't seem to get as much attention, but this one was a little more real than what the Trudeau administration, I guess you call it. I don't know if you call it administration in Canada, but the Trudeau troop that hasn't really alluded to as much. Apparently, there was a attack on a pipeline, or Coastal GasLink. Okay, you might recall the Coastal GasLink pipeline from the Canada-wide, not exactly peaceful protest back in 2020. Oh, yeah, these were not as peaceful. But anyway, which saw environmental activists blockading roads and train lines, slowing the flow of goods across the country to a crawl, forcing CN Rail to lay off hundreds of workers and Via Rail to halt their cross-country passenger service, seriously inconveniencing nearly 100,000 Canadians who rely on their trains for transport. Funny, the Trudeau government didn't even consider invoking the Emergencies Act against them at the time. And this was all done in solidarity with Indigenous Canadians of the Wet'suwet'en Nation. Wet'suwet'en Nation. I'm trying to say that correctly, so not to to disrespect anybody. The vast majority of whom, as we reported at the time, were actually in favor of the pipeline's construction. Well, they've now graduated to not exactly peaceful to actively violence. From the Financial Post, RCMP are investigating, that's Royal Canadian Mounted Police, are investigating what is being described as an organized violent attack on pipeline workers, police, and equipment at a Coastal GasLink drilling site near the Maurice River in northern British Columbia. Mounties were called for reports that 20 masked people, some of them wielding axes, had actually attacked security guards at the worksite near Houston, British Columbia, shortly after midnight Thursday, smashing the windows of their vehicle. This coordinated and criminal attack from multiple directions threatened the lives of several workers. TC Energy Corp, the company building the Coastal GasLink pipeline, said in a statement, in one of the most concerning acts, an attempt was made to set a vehicle on fire while workers were inside. The attackers also wielded axes, swinging them at vehicles and through a truck's window, the company said. Flare guns were also fired at workers. Now, it's hard to believe that this attack had nothing to do with the ongoing situation in Ottawa. Prime Minister Trudeau's decision to invoke the Emergencies Act on a pretext which will now not even be debated by Parliament until next week, when it had already been used to jail peaceful protesters and seize their bank accounts, is currently monopolizing the national conversation, which was already focused on the Freedom Convoy protests. These eco-terrorists no doubt saw this as their perfect opportunity to strike a blow against the pipeline and attract little to no negative media attention, thus allowing themselves to portray themselves as simple, peace-loving hippies whenever Coastal GasLink gets back into the news. Which is to say, while Trudeau's government is reportedly planning a brutal crackdown on peaceful Freedom Convoy protesters in Ottawa, this weekend they've already arrested 2 of the protester organizers and about 170 other people, by the way. These actual terrorists are likely going to get away with this. So here's, now I don't know if they did all this damage, but that's serious damage to a truck. Do you see this photo? Do I have a picture of this out here? Hang on, let me show you a bigger photo. They did this with axes? I mean, look at this picture. Holy snake balls. Oh, that's the picture from the Financial Post. I want the picture, not the link. Anyway, that's some significant damage to some trucks, and they do that with just axes. That's like when you go in before a high school football game and you go in with sledgehammers and you break up a car with the name of the opposing team on it. They smashed this truck to bits. RCMP photo of damaged trucks after the assault on the Coastal GasLink drilling site. An attempt was made to set a vehicle on fire while workers were inside. So yeah, let's just say it wasn't a good scene. Now, that's the Financial Post version of it. There's also a PJ Media version of this. Real terrorist attack Trudeau ignored while cracking down on the Freedom Convoy from Real Clear Politics. Is also the Daily Mail reported on it. I'll put all these articles in the links below. We're going to have there's going to be a lot of links. By the way, everything we talk about on this show ends up, if it is a video or an article or whatever, will end up in a single link in the description down below in the second paragraph called a one-tab link. You hit one link and it'll take you to links to every single story we touch on today. So anyway, there's a few different versions of that story available that'll be available in the links. You can pick and choose which one you want to. Oh wait, what did I do there? Okay, yeah, you can pick and choose which one you want to use for your blog or your show or whatever you do with these articles once you read them. And again, here's the Daily Mail version. Trudeau ignores real violence here. So there are a few outlets that are covering this, at least a little more extensively than the national news. I don't know how much this made the national news because they're too busy talking about violent truckers, the violent protest of the truckers, which really, boy, watching them crack down, you would think that they were burning down Wendy's and shit like that, but no, it's just another day. So anyway, speaking of the Canadian truckers, our friends to the north, there's some pics. This is just how the Canadian cops were I was going to say booted up, as in Jack booted up. Pictures of more arrests as Canadian cops sweep through Ottawa with clubs, stun grenades, rifles, and horses. They didn't have horses on this one. Excuse me, I need a sip of my... No, I'm not fighting another bout of COVID. In fact, I got, really, my wife, when she had that, we didn't change any of our behaviors within our house, and I did not get it again. It is a peaceful protest, no matter how violent it is if it serves their purpose. It is a violent riot when it doesn't. Right. Oh, absolutely there, Tyre. You're absolutely right. Oh, speaking of which, let me stop here for a second. It is a good time for the latest proverb for the current year. So let's just let me get that up. And this one came courtesy of Tyre Alexander. So I just want to make sure I credit that today. Come on, get to my channel there, which I forgot to do this. All right, here is our current. Hang on, let me pause. There we go. Our newest proverb for the current year. If I can fit in, there we go. All right. Oh, what the hell? Why is there no volume? Oh, because there's a mute on there. There we go. Let's try that without the mute. There we go. And it's not working. Also known as PDawg. All right, let's try it one more time. No mute. Volume up. There we go. Hey everybody, it's Marty, also known as PDawgKnight on the internet, and welcome to another proverb for the current year. Yea, it is better to live a short life standing tall than to live a long life on your knees. All right, thank you, Tyre Alexander, for contributing that. If you have a proverb for the current year that's related to current news, I'm more than happy to have some of those submitted. You can submit them in the comment sections of any of the videos, or you can, oh my God, I just saw something I really didn't want to see. Or you can DM them to me, and we'll check them out. All right. So speaking of which, let's get back to the protests in Canada. So the police just have made arrests. They were sweeping through, kicking and kneeing people and punching people for no apparent reason in some cases. The Canadian authorities have made dozens more arrests in the capital city of Ottawa as they move to crush the anti-vaccine mandate freedom convoy. Okay, that's an interesting way that Breitbart's phrased that, but I'll take it. It says we have arrested 47 people. That brings us to a total of so far 170, said Steve Bell, the interim chief of police for the city of Ottawa, in his latest press conference. Let's see if that's, do I have that here? Oh yeah, let's watch his press conference. This jackhole. Oh my God, it's 32 minutes long. I'm not doing it, but I'll leave it in the, I'll put it in the links today. Forget that. We are not doing it. Where was I there? Okay, as we continue to take back our streets, the City of Ottawa crews and other municipal vehicles came into the area to clean up and tow away all of the demonstrators' possessions and vehicles, he bragged. When we deployed our officers this morning, you saw the public order units on the ground sweeping across the downtown core from east to west and moving demonstrators out of the parliamentary precinct, he went on, stating that officers continued to face resistance while doing so, and that at one point, a flare was ignited by a protester. Oh no! A flare? It was ignited by a protester? Gird my loins. Anyway, in response, he confirmed the officers used a chemical irritant known as pepper spray to disperse unlawful demonstrators who were resisting police orders. Pictures from the Canadian capital show police in military-style garb armed with rifles as they move across the Freedom Convoy, supporting other police in more traditional riot gear armed with batons and crude wooden clubs. This is rough work, the interim chief Bell claimed that the officers were doing what they've been trained to do and have demonstrated unparalleled discipline and restraint and utmost professionalism. Well, I've seen some of the videos there, Sparky. And I don't know that kicking and punching people and running over a person in a mobility scooter with a horse maybe is all that professional. But hey, you know. So anyway, there's some of that article. Now for let's see, that's the terrorist attack. Sorry, moving on here. Also, they looks like they imprisoned a Canadian pastor for just talking to the truckers. Arthur Pawlowski has been sent to jail and denied bail for peaceful speech he gave to the Freedom Convoy. In an unjust society, The only place for a just man is in prison, said the writer Henry David Thoreau. That is increasingly true in Canada, where critics of COVID restrictions can be thrown in jail for peaceful protest. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Castreau is unleashing powers meant for terrorists on the truckers. His mandates already damaged their livelihoods, but now his treatment of the truckers as a group akin to ISIS threatens to wipe them out completely. Meanwhile, a Calgary pastor who merely preached to the truckers finds himself in solitary confinement on a phony charge of incitement, according to his lawyer. So there he spoke to the truckers and they charge him with incitement. The condition of religious freedom in America is pretty dismal, but it appears to be even worse in Canada. This imprisoned pastor, Arthur Pawlowski, is this the same pastor that got in trouble for holding church services during the pandemic? Now, granted, I don't think he should be in jail for what he's doing. But apparently freedom of speech is a thing in Canada, at least in theory or in practice. It may be in theory, but not in practice. But he's also the guy, I think he's been in trouble with them a few times. Who can tell me about that? Anyway, but he didn't urge the truckers to violence. On the contrary, he explicitly disavowed violence. He, quote, "May God help us all because we don't fight with guns and swords," he said to the truckers gathered for a Freedom Convoy rally. "We don't fight with tasers and police vehicles. We don't. We just want to go back and work hard and achieve something and provide for our families. We all just want to be left alone." He encouraged the truckers to continue their protests. "Hold the line," he said. "Stand your ground." He likened now see those words to the police and to the Justin Trudeau is violence, because it's, words are violence. He likened their protest to the solidarity movement in Poland during the Cold War and exhorted the truckers to remain united against overweening politicians. Overweening or overweenie? I don't know. Ebony Williams, so good to see you. Nice to have you here. So anyway, at a bail hearing this week, the Canadian government argued that his speech roused the truckers to continue their protest. Oh no! He roused them to continue their protest. Oh my God! What a violent and unworthy human being he is. Anyway, and as if the effectiveness of the speech made it particularly prosecutable. Wonders, would the state have not prosecuted him if the speech had fallen flat? Now, and the court denied him bail on these absurd grounds. Here it is. Listen to this. Provincial Judge Aaron Olson said Crown prosecutors Steve Johnson had established sufficient ground to order Pawlowski held without bail pending trial on charges related to the allegations he incited protesters to continue an ongoing blockade of the Coutts border crossing, reported the Calgary Herald. Like a verdict from a Soviet show trial, the judge asserted out of thin air that Pawlowski's blameless exercise of free speech, quote, contributed to enormous economic harm to the local, provincial, and national economy and substantial community harm to ordinary Canadians. Well, wait a minute. And so what grounds was there for no bail? What? In other words, he is a threat to the tyranny of Trudeau and his minions. Good for him. It's too bad other pastors didn't join him. The COVID commissars are making an example out of him in order to keep others quiet. So, holy shitballs, Batman. I'm just saying, that's insane. No bail because what was the line here? It was here it is. Contributed to enormous economic harm to the local, provincial, and national economy and substantial community harm to ordinary Canadians. Well, that must be a very, very specific law on the books in Canada. I don't know, but of course you guys kind of have a fluid system of of laws in Canada where, like they can kind of judges can make up shit on the fly. So who knows? That's very fascinating. Although you do have, in theory, you have due process up there. I don't know. Hello, Kessler. How you doing? All right, let's move on because I got a lot to get through. Now, Trudeau government makes some of their new and plus they've decided to make some of these emergency measures. Here's the thing: anytime you give, let's see, is that the right one? Yeah, it is. Let's see here. Oh no, wait, hang on, sorry. Let me fix something real quick. You know how I've say there's no such thing as a temporary government program? Well, Trudeau's government is going to make some of their new authoritarian measures permanent. Now, I am fascinated by this. So this emergency power that he has just granted himself, because still the parliament hasn't even voted on it, and none of the provinces have even recommended nor approved it. Well, at least most of them haven't. But they want to make some of these measures permanent. Now this is I'm going to skip some of this extra stuff. On Thursday, I didn't see this article. This is Robert, what's his name? Robert Spencer. He wrote an article comparing Trudeau's Emergency Act to Adolf Hitler's Enabling Act that established a dictatorship, and pointed out while Hitler's act was supposed to be temporary, when it came up for renewal, his opponents had all been outlawed, imprisoned, or killed, and there was no one left to raise a dissenting voice. Now, I hate when they, they break Godwin's law on some of these things, but I kind of get his point. Well, Trudeau's invocation of the Emergencies Act was supposed to be temporary as well, but on Friday, Canadian Deputy Prime Minister Chrystia Freeland, a very ironic name, announced the Trudeau regime's intention to make some of their new authoritarian powers permanent. This, my friend, is how democracies die. Someone was saying that democracy is dead. I think that was Tyre Alexander who said that way up here somewhere. Yes, Canada has fallen. So when the Emergencies Act was first invoked on February 14th, Freeland explained that the Freedom Convoy's bank accounts would be frozen. Under what law? And as a part of the invoking the Emergencies Act, we are announcing the following immediate actions. First, we are broadening the scope of Canada's anti-money laundering and terrorist financing rules so that they cover crowdfunding platforms and the payment service providers they use. These changes cover all forms of transaction, including digital assets such as cryptocurrencies. Good luck with that one. Sorry, maybe they don't understand how cryptocurrencies work. Now, granted, you could have a wallet set up with a financial institution that's tied to the government, but if you don't, it's hard to really regulate those. Anyway, in order to strangle, that's an interesting word, to strangle the protests financially. I wonder if they could implement that for other types of protests. Or if, let's say they don't remain in power forever, which is looking more and more likely. Could another government come in and use these same powers against something they like? Fascinating. So, in order to strangle, interesting choice of words, the protests financially, as of today, all crowdfunding platforms and the payment service providers they use must register with FinTrack, Financial Transaction Report Analysis Center of Canada. Just love it. And they must report large and suspicious transactions to FinTrack. This will help mitigate the risk that these platforms receive illicit funds, increase the quality. Oh yes, they're going to increase the quality and quantity of intelligence received by FinTrack. Oh, intelligence. So they're using this for intelligence purposes. Big brother. And to make more information available to support investigations by law enforcement into these illegal blockades. This is about following the money. This is about stopping the finances of these illegal blockades. We are today serving notice. If your truck is being used in these illegal blockades, your corporate accounts will be frozen. Okay, so then she said they're going to try to restrict your insurance. They're going to take your money. First of all, we've been talking about this for a few days on my show and a couple other places online that I've pointed you to, where if you don't have control of the value of your effort and labor, you have no freedom. And they're taking away the value, they're taking away control of people's value of their effort and labor. Because you have their money in these institutions, which they're saying, it's not yours if we don't like your opinions. That's not a good precedent. I'm sorry. That is tyranny at its finest. The Constitution, all those amendments that you like in the Constitution, if you can't control the value of your labor and effort, and how you manipulate the value of your labor and effort, which includes money, you don't have any freedom. Period. Okay? You don't have any freedom if you cannot control the value of your labor and effort. Right? Anyway. So now, they're saying, though, that said even on February 14th that the government will also bring forward legislation to provide these authorities to FinTrack on a permanent basis. On Friday, she doubled down on this by saying that with the arrogance, semi-coherence, and logorrhea that is common to so many leftist schoolmarm authoritarians, in terms of the financial instruments which our government is using right now to act against these illegal blockades and illegal occupation is a very important word for them to use, makes them sound like terrorists. We reviewed very, very carefully all the tools at the disposal of the federal government, and we used all the tools that we had prior to invocation of the Emergencies Act, and we determined that we needed some additional tools. Now, some of those tools we will, this is verbatim, will be putting forward measures to put these tools permanently in place. The authorities of FinTrack believe I do need to be expanded to cover crowdsourcing platforms and payment platform and their payment providers, so that it is something that we need to do and we will do, and that needs to be in place permanently. So what that means is that the Trudeau regime will seek to put its ability to seize dissidents' bank accounts on a permanent basis. So now they can seize your bank account if you disagree with the Trudeau administration. They're making it permanent. Not a good precedent. Now, I'm hoping that this shit gets just bitch slapped in the Parliament and in the courts. There are already some lawsuits about this going on. The Canadian Civil Liberties Union, which actually believes in civil liberties, unlike the American Civil Liberties Union. There's a couple other large organizations fighting this, already filed suits in the courts in Canada, and the legislature still has to debate all this shit. And I don't think this is looking too good to a large number of legislators. So hopefully Canada will not have fallen, and this bullshit will be kicked out to the dogs. All right, let me do this real quick. Oh, what's this channel? No, I don't want to watch that. What the hell? Oh, this is Daily Wire. Really annoys me. All right, now let's go back real quick. Let me do this. Thank you, Tyre Alexander, for being the first sponsor today. And Tyre Alexander, you are the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. Thank you so much. Who says, I've been saying that since this shit started. Yes, you have. This is a dangerous thing. Short-term gain for long-term harm. Left doesn't think about tomorrow, only about today, only about right now. Today you have power, but what about tomorrow? Oh, straight up. I'm telling you. It's again, the policy or something. I had a proverb for that one too, didn't I? Something about what was that one? Hang on, let me figure out this out. I can play it right now. This is the one I did in my truck. This one right here. This one right here. Let me pull this up. Hey everybody, this is Marty, also known as PDawgKnight on the internet, and welcome to another proverb for the current year. This one was inspired by Canada's Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. Always remember, a precedent set by a politician, especially the ones you like, will eventually come back to bite you in the ass. Yes, it will, and I'm not feeling all comfortable. Thank you again, Ty Alexander, for sponsoring the show. If you want to sponsor the show and you don't want to give Susan 30%, go to PDawgKnight.live, which has the Streamlab link in the upper left-hand corner, which would be right up there somewhere. On the other side of that social media thing, it'll be right up there. It's more kind of up there because it's up in that corner, but it's over that way. Anyway, good morning, Nomad. Stop. Hammer time. Only Nomad knows exactly what that meant. Anyway, nice to have you back. All right. Pandora's box was a bitch to close for a reason. Yes, it was. You forget they have no intention of or belief they will never have power. This is true. This is true. They don't. They think they're going to be permanently in power, and they're probably trying to make it so they can be. Anyway, so now over in Canada, there's a premier, one of the province premiers, which is kind of like a governor in the United States for you Americans who don't know shit about the rest of the world, like I didn't till recently. The gayest person on YouTube's here. What's up, my friend? Nice to see you. Reports from Canada say the truckers have the legal backing of the BOFA agreement where Trudeau has agreed to suck both of these nuts. Oh, very good, very good. Okay, so now one of the Canadian premiers suing over Trudeau's use of the Emergencies Act. He's not the only one, but he's one of many entities suing the government and going to the courts about this. Jason Kennedy, the premier of Canadian province of Alberta, announced Saturday that he was suing the federal government of Canada and Prime Minister Justin Trudeau for their use of the Emergencies Act, calling the move unjustified in the circumstances. He gets a bell for that. During the interview with Edmonton, Alberta-based Edmonton Sun, Kennedy said he was filing a legal challenge to Canadian federal court in order to suspend Trudeau and the Liberal government's implementation of the act to crack down on the Freedom Convoy protests currently going on in the nation's capital of Ottawa. Is this the right one? No, it's not. This is, what the hell is this? Is this another ad? All right, we're not going to play that one. Anyway, Kennedy made it clear that he still wanted law and order restored and did not want to be misconstrued. The situation in Ottawa is serious. Law and order has to be restored, said Kennedy, adding that he believed the protesters should not be able to blockade the center of any city, much less the nation's capital, for any reason or cause. Now remember, the truckers did leave, Cephas Wolves, how you doing? Did leave lanes so that you could still get through the Capitol, but then the police blocked off those areas, cordoned off those areas. They didn't completely block the Capitol, but they did muck it up a bit. But anyway, the situation in Ottawa is serious. Law and order had to be restored, but adding that he believed protesters should not be able to blockade the center of the city, much less the nation's capital, for any reason or cause. But the Emergencies Act was designed to come into effect at the failure of the state in the event of a coup or insurrection that threatened to topple Canada's democratic institutions. However, there's no insurrection or coup right now. They're protesting. The Edmonton Sun reported that the Ottawa Police Department have always had the authority to ticket and even to arrest drivers who are parked illegally. Police services already have all the powers they need through a provincial authority. All the tools already exist, added Kennedy, pointing out that both the blockades of the Ambassador Bridge in Windsor, Ontario, and the U.S.-Canadian border in Coutts, Alberta, were resolved by ordinary conduct of police. Neither situation required extraneous powers like the Emergencies Act. Let's stick to the basics here, the basics of law enforcement, Kennedy said. So let's just say Kennedy, what's his first name? Jason Kennedy, premier of Canadian province of Alberta, has his head on straight and realizes that all this shit was just, okay, you want to talk about a coup? I'm going to call Justin Trudeau's Emergency Power Act a coup because he's not acting within the law. So anyway, all right, let's, you can read the rest of that on your own. Let's see, what's this one? I have a few more about this. How many? So here's the other part too. There was, so as I was watching this unfold on Twitter, some on Saturday, I didn't pay as close attention as I could because I was too busy drinking and napping. But you know, there was all these reports about the police were being attacked and this and that and whatever. So this is a good question. How many Canadian police were injured clearing protesters from the streets? That's a great question, right? Because if they were being attacked, there were scuffles of people because the police kept saying that they were being attacked, right? So the Canadian government claims the reason police used violence and force to move protesters off the streets of Canada's capital was that the demonstrators themselves were violent. Police Chief Stephen Bell gave a press conference on Saturday trying to justify his officer's use of horses to push protesters back after several demonstrators were trampled, caught on video. Bell denied that it was a big deal. Well, we all saw the protesters that were aggressive with the officers. Oh, were they now? Let's see your video and let's compare notes. And we needed to use horses at one point, Bell said at the conference. As a result, we responded this morning by adding helmets and batons to our equipment for the safety of the officers. Oh, they added it later? That's weird because I could have sworn I saw these. They came in with helmets and batons and riot gear and all this other stuff, and they still got no violence from the truckers. But here's a close-up. Here's some peaceful protesters in Ottawa protesting mandates being trampled by horses.
Come on through. Come on through. What is happening here? Wow. What is this lady doing? Trampling horses. Trampling. Stop it. Stop it.
Now stop. Let me go back here. I'm going to go back here because this is one of the contentious things that the officers said. They said that someone threw a bike at them. Now look at this woman in the red here on the ground, which they knocked over on a horse. Notice these wheels right here. Do you notice that? This woman had one of those, like not a mobility scooter, but one of those, like, what do you call them? Like a walker with wheels and like bicycle brakes. They said the police claimed that someone threw a bike at them, and that the horse tripped over it. This horse is tripping over people and a woman with who's basically has a walker to help her walk. And then the police would not allow them to help those people on the ground.
They just trampled that lady. They just fully trampled that lady.
And notice how they're just pushing them aside. Now there's someone. You see someone in the back who helped her get up. Okay, she's here. So if you go back, you can see them helping her up. The police grab her and help her up. But notice they don't have her mobility scooter with her.
There's the lady.
And now they're arresting her. They have surrounded her and they're arresting her. Now it could be that they're helping. I can't really tell from that angle. But you see her in the background. Now they ended up helping her up. It's possible.
Now the lady got fully trampled with a horse.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
You just got crushed by a horse.
So anyway, now what's amazing? Here, let me minimize this. Now what can I indicate? That there was 2 members of the protesters who did collide with horses. That's what he said. What I can indicate is there were 2 members of the protesters who did collide with horses. Now, two members of the protesters who did collide with horses. Oh my God. Wow. Actually, other protesters picked them up and took them away. No, they didn't. The police actually picked them up, as you can see from the backside of that video. Presumably to get medical attention, they didn't appear capable of continuing their protest. Let's see. As indicated earlier, we will have the opportunity to review all of those files. There are complaint mechanisms for people to enter if they feel there is excessive use of force by members of our police service. Bell said. He added, the occupation is over. We have advised them that if they peacefully leave, they may go home. That still exists. We also indicated that we would escalate and forcibly remove people in the streets if they did not comply. Some of what that is what you are seeing. So I will stand here today again and say this demonstration is over. Go home. If you don't go home, we'll remove you from the streets. Well, now that is not all, though, because let's see. Later, he said that they're going to be reviewing every bit of film and whatever they can, and we're gonna get financial sanctions, criminal charges, even after it ends. Now here it is. Ottawa Police Chief Steve Bell said during a press conference over the weekend that Canadian law enforcement officials would continue cracking down on those in the trucker protest well after the protest has ended. And the revelation came in response to a reporter asking if there were going to be repercussions down the road for the protesters, even if they had retreated and gone home. Let's see. Here it is. Here, let's just watch this little gem of a clip. How long is this thing? If it's too long,
yeah, this is independent good. Media. So I was in the crowd yesterday. I was unfortunately hit with some pepper spray. I just have a question.
I was unfortunately hit with some pepper spray. Who deployed pepper spray? Notice, I don't know if he answered that. Listen to this question answer. Hello, Stephanie. Hey, nice new Avi there. That's awesome. And also, good morning to Legit Low Talker.
Video cameras that the police are using, and some news outlets are reporting that you're gathering intelligence.
Hang on. Let me come back. Thank you, Tyler Alexander, for sponsoring the show. Let me just go ahead and do this right now. It's a sponsor. Hold on. I need sponsor music. Give me just one moment, please. I'll come back to that. Let's see. Let me find some good sponsor music. Where'd my sponsor music go? Oh, shit. Hang on a second. It's Metal Monday, so we'll have some Metal Monday sponsor music as soon as I can get the screen back to where it's supposed to be. Metal Monday, it's Metal Monday on the Morning Night Live. It's Metal Monday on the Morning Night Live. I don't think this tune constitutes Metal Monday, but it is Metal Monday on the Morning Night Live. All right, here we go. New ad for, I gotta turn this shit down. This will be way too loud. Hold on. Let's do this. Today's sponsor is Bofa. Bofa is launching a new product, D's Nuts. D's Nuts come in many flavors and local sources. Chock full of protein and essential vitamins, always fresh and ready for consumption. You will enjoy sucking on Bofa D's Nuts. Thank you, Tyler Alexander. Another fantastic ad. Bye, Tyler Alexander. All right. Thank you very much. That was fantastic. And thank you for sponsoring the show, as always. You're fantastic. All right. Back to, let's see here. Back to this one. So here's this jackhole guy, police chief interim fuckface. And here he goes. Listen to this answer. Here, the question and answer.
And some news outlets are reporting that you're gathering intelligence with those cameras.
Gathering intelligence.
Can you elaborate, like, if the protesters at this point, retreat and go home.
They retreat and go home on their
Are they going to
accord?
be getting sort of repercussions down the road? Or are you going to be sort of actively pursuing the people that you've been sort of documenting and filming who are still out there protesting? What are your plans after this, after the protest?
Listen to this answer. This answer is completely and utterly frightening, and I hope somebody bitch slaps this mother. Well, not literally bitch slaps, but legally bitch slaps his motherfucker if he tries any of this shit. But listen to the answer.
Question, and the simple answer is yes. If you are involved in this protest, we will actively look to identify you and follow up with financial sanctions and criminal...
Financial sanctions? Really? What does that mean? What does that mean? Financial sanctions? What law, specific in Canada, and even Ottawa or anywhere, are you referring to, sir? What type of financial sanctions are there for peacefully protesting?
Charges, absolutely. This investigation will go on for months to come. It has many, many different streams, both from a federal financial level, from a provincial licensing level, from a criminal code level, from a municipal breach of court order, breach of court injunction level. It will be a complicated and time-consuming investigation that will go on for a period of time. You have my commitment that that investigation will continue, and we will hold people accountable for taking our streets over.
And could I just ask one more question?
Yeah. So they're gonna hunt people down. This is gonna be like this. You know, they were saying this is like their January 6th. They're just gonna hunt people down. If you were there, good luck. We're gonna get you. We're gonna find you and get you. Boy. It's a little early for FTG Thursday, but fuck this guy. All right, let's move on. I'm swearing rather profusely today. I'm hopeful. Anyway, who cares? I'm running out of time already. I have tons of articles open. Anyway, also, now here's the part, though, I was mentioning earlier, and I knew I had an article open about this. And this is, well, I say this is fantastic. Bitcoin wallet providers reject Justin Trudeau's #Freedom Truckers fund freeze order. Yes, F these guys. And meanwhile, clergy are rebuking Trudeau and the Canadian Citizen Petition for dissolution of Parliament. Oh my God, they want a dissolution of Parliament. We'll see what happens. Hi, GNT, nice to see you. And Sand. Sadly, our press has gone all in on its reporting about Ukraine while neglecting anything but the most basic coverage of the police crackdown on the Freedom Convoy participants in Ottawa. However, their attempts to unite the nation behind Biden, the war president, aren't working. And clever people who dig a little deeper can see there is also a backlash building against the abuse of government power, especially the threat of to people's livelihoods and anger at the brutal tactics taken by Ottawa police. This says my colleague Fuzzy Slippers had an excellent write-up about the use of horse patrols in the crowds, which I'll leave a link to that also in the links today. Many Canadians and entities that support them are finding ways to protest the Extreme Authoritative Emergencies Act. To begin with, hang on. We have a sponsor today. Thank you, Maddie, with the 5 spot, and you are the new Streamlab Superstar sponsor of the day. Thank you, Maddie. Maddie says, the more Castreau and his... I love calling him Castro. The more Castreau and his henchmen crack down, the more I want to draw Castro with a certain mustache and uniform if I could draw. Yes, he's certainly showing his authoritative tendencies of those with funny mustaches or those who make people disappear from pictures. Whichever you choose, it's still an authoritarian dickhead. Okay. So anyway, to begin with, the High Court in Ontario issued an order to cryptocurrency providers to freeze the funds of users involved in the Freedom Convoy. Bitcoin wallet company Nunchuck, which received a letter demanding it comply, declined. Nunchuck took aim at the order in an epic tweet that was brutal. This is fantastic. Dear Ontario High Court Judge, Nunchuck is a self-defense collaborative multi-kick Bitcoin or multisig Bitcoin wallet. We are a software provider, not a secure finance intermediary. Our software is free to use. While protecting privacy, it helps people eliminate single points of failure and save Bitcoin as safely as possible. We do not collect any user identification information beyond email addresses. We have no keys. Therefore, our users' assets cannot be disabled, cannot block transaction. We do not know the presence, nature, value, and location of our users' assets. See how your self-defense and personal keys work. When the Canadian dollar is worthless, we will be here for you. Sincerely, the Nunchuck team. Ah, that is awesome. Another Bitcoin outlet reacted similarly. This would be Edge Wallet. Our official response to Deputy Prime Minister Chrystia Freeland's request to freeze all Canadian Edge users' accounts via the Emergency Act. Here, let's see. Let me just get the, hang on a second, because this is the official response to request to freeze users. I might just open this one. Let's see who theirs is. I'll open theirs up. This is great. Let's see. Oh, wait, no, that's okay. That's not it. That's not what I wanted to see. Let's go back here. Let's see, but these aren't the only. Oh, anyway, they basically said fuck you. In fact, here. Oh no, I can't play that again. Because my fuck you video gets a copyright strike. Not a strike, but a copyright claim, and so I can't play that one anymore. But I thought it was funny. Anyway, these aren't the only rebukes Trudeau's Emergencies Act. A group of Canadian clergy sent an open letter to the Prime Minister critical of his invocation of the Emergencies Act and calling it tyrannical. These are the clergy. We are writing you as representatives of. Oh, wait a minute. I need some pastor music. Hang on. Let me get some pastor music here. Let's see what right there next to DW. Okay, I'm gonna get some nice. We're not gonna do metal music on pastors, so let's try something a little more sweet and refined and less metally. Let's see. Let's go with let's go with small drama. Let's go with that, and we'll do here. Let's try this. We are writing you as representative pastors of Christian congregations from across the nation, and as law-abiding citizens who respect the God-defined role of civil government and uphold the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms, the highest law of our land, which recognizes the supremacy of God over all human legislation. Read the letter, which was signed by 29 clergymen and remains open for all other Canadians to sign. The Ottawa protest has presented your government with a wonderful opportunity to meet with and speak to ordinary Canadians lawfully and peacefully requiring the restoration of their constitutional rights. However, in response to their singing, praying, dancing, candy floss, bouncy castles, speeches about the Constitution, and outpourings of patriotic love for the country, your government has not only refused to meet with these citizens to hear their concerns, you have insulted, denigrated, and lied about them, further dividing and hurting and a broken nation. Wow. When the priests say fuck you, you know something's wrong. Okay, I'm translating what the priests and clergy, whatever, said. They just said fuck you, Trudeau. How bad must you be to get a group of mild-mannered Canadian pastors this angry at you? Finally, there's the change.org petition calling on the Governor General to dissolve the Canadian Parliament. Here's a portion of the petition. Here, I'll put it on the screen again. Justin Trudeau constantly refuses to answer questions during question period from the official opposition representing Canadians with the desire for what the rest of the world is already doing, lifting unproductive and damaging mandates. The political process and current laws have failed Canadians in that due process, and Canadian law have been manipulated by a minority government to serve the vision of the Prime Minister at the cost of Canadian rights and freedoms. We, the undersigned, the citizens of Canada, call upon the Governor-General to dissolve Parliament and allow Canadians a choice on how we will move forward as a country. Now, that's probably going nowhere, but at least they're doing it. And while the Governor-General may not be able to dissolve Parliament, if enough Canadian voters can contact their members of Parliament, a majority of them may persuade to take a no-confidence vote. In Canada, a vote of no confidence is a motion that the legislature disapproves and no longer consents to the governing Prime Minister and the incumbent cabinet. A vote of no confidence that passes leads to the fall of the incumbent government. Oh, please, Lord, let that happen. The quickest way to restore liberty to Canada is through Parliament. Hopefully enough Canadians will be inspired to do so after seeing Trudeau's actions in response to the nation's truckers. So they're saying FTG, Justin Trudeau, Justin Castreau. All right. I'm not going to get, I have like 20, 30 more tabs open with other news, and I'll just put it in the link below because I'm running out of time, and I'll go through as many as I can until the show's over. But I'm serious. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 5, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. I have 37 more tabs open just because I went crazy when I was looking up news this morning, and I had some extra time this morning, so I did. Anyway, moving on. Here's the official response from one of these Bitcoin providers. Oh, it's short, sweet. Let's read this. This definitely needs metal music though, so hang on a second. Let me get a little Metal Monday music for this one, because this is clearly. Let me just Metal Monday music. View more. Let's find one that's only about a minute long. It doesn't matter. I can shut it off anytime I want. Here we go. All right. Here's a response. The official response to freeze Canadian Edge users' accounts. Is it just me or is that really loud? Can you hear me okay? I don't. It's Metal Monday! You better be able to frickin' hear me! In the wake of the ongoing turmoil taking place in the Canadian capital of Ottawa, Deputy Prime Minister Chrystia Freeland has requested via the Emergencies Act that various financial services companies freeze accounts of those linked to protesters occupying the region, as well as those providing funding to the protest, but not present physically. Regardless of whether the protests resonate with individuals or not, financial seizure is an unprecedented action that must be taken seriously. It is with great consideration that we would like to share our official response to the request that Canadian users' Edge accounts be frozen. No, motherfuckers. That's the official answer. No. And most importantly, we can't even if we wanted to. Motherfuckers. FTG. And go fuck yourself. All right. I love that. That's their answer. That's it. No. Oh, you know, governments around the world are fucking gonna be pissed. Anyway, that's hilarious. All right. Let's see. Let me just give you a Requiem for a Nation. We'll skip that one. I'm going to kind of breeze through, and maybe I'll stop at one that isn't regarding the Canadian protests, but there is an interesting Requiem for a Nation in PJ Media here from Front Page. Oh, I don't know if you remember this. So this whistleblower, Philip Haney, was killed, gunshot to the chest, And the FBI doesn't seem all that interested. This guy was a Department of Homeland Security agent who was blowing the whistle on some of the people that were being let into our country. And so it's an interesting article. You might want to check it out. I don't want to go into too much. In the New York Post today, BLM privilege and, oh God, these fucking pop-ups. And the January 6th Capitol riot shame. This is an article from Miranda Devine. She's the columnist at the New York Post, talking about kind of the difference in how people are treated. So this Quintez Brown, who attempted to assassinate a Jewish mayoral candidate, they got him out on $100,000 bail, right? And Brown had BLM privilege, a celebrated gun control advocate, anointed as a rising star by the Obama Foundation. He was an honored guest on Joy Reid's MSNBC show. He was granted a bi-weekly opinion column in the Louisville Courier-Journal to spew boilerplate leftist race-based anti-cop sentiment. And according to Andy Ngo, author of Unmasked, the definitive Antifa expose, Brown on social media accounts show a disturbing allegiance to anti-Semitic causes such as Lion of Judah Armed Forces, an armed black nationalist group which is linked to the virulently anti-Semitic black Hebrew Israelites. Oh,
that's right.
Sorry, dude. Anyway, one of the bullets he allegedly fired from the Glock handgun at mayoral candidate Craig Greenberg came so close that it grazed the man's sweater. But none of that is a problem for GoFundMe, which routinely cuts off crowdsourced donations to nonviolent Canadian truckers and nonviolent January 6th defendants, but never interferes with BLM's cash. So anyway, she's just kind of the disparate treatment of the two groups. And it's a good article. You can read the rest yourself. Also, in another PJ Media article, Portland Antifa picked a fight with a biker gang. And then blamed the police when they started getting their asses kicked. So, and this is just one of those sad stories. Gunfire erupted when Antifa militants appeared to have picked a fight with a notorious Portland, Oregon area biker gang, and Antifa lost. Oh, it couldn't happen to some nicer people. At least one person ended up dead. Not cool that someone died, but still. At least one person ended up dead and 5 others were injured on Portland on Saturday night. The Portland police are still sorting things out, but what we know is the police were called on Saturday night shortly after 8 p.m. to a disturbance that quickly escalated into gunfire. Portland police said this incident started with a confrontation between an armed homeowner and an armed protester. So let's see. On the scene shooting, okay, just that's part of the scene. We don't need to watch that. So anyway, as Portland Police Public Information Officer Lieutenant Nathan Shepard attempted to update the media on the shooting melee in Northeast Portland, 2 known Antifa militants took over the news conference, commandeered the microphones, and began blaming the police for failing to do their jobs to protect them. Now, mind you, they started this shit, and they started with the wrong people. According to the Antifa protesters who took over the presser, identified by Post Millennial as Haley Nolan and Dustin Ferreira, something like that, the previous night, their comrades had gone to confront members of the notorious Portland area biker gang, the Gypsy Jokers. Police say at least one Antifa militant was armed, which they usually are. Nolan, who appeared to have trouble breathing, said it was the Portland Police Bureau's fault when a woman died in the shooting melee and 5 others were wounded. Quote, "They are sending Gypsy Jokers to kidnap us." Who started the shit? Hi, Kiefer, damn, how you doing? She breathlessly announced. She pointed to Lieutenant Shepard and accused the police of encouraging the violence against Antifa, saying they are sanctioning this violence against us. Oh, no.
Gotcha, bitch.
We are dying. We are trying to peacefully protest, and they are killing us. I want to know if any of you care. No, I don't care. Stop fucking with people. I want to know if Ted Wheeler cares. See the video below. She indicated why they took over the news conference by admitting, "We are not going to let them capture the narrative and lie." She pointed to the police. We can understand why. When you're Antifa, you pick a fight with a biker gang. Antifa looks pretty dumb. While the media watched, Antifa goons chased the lieutenant back to his patrol car and attempted to surround it, their favorite trick. Now, here's the press availability, so watch this. Gee, I hope he ran them over. Okay, so she's saying, now, Portland, this black woman yelling at, you're out here trying to slay black people. No! Stop fucking with people, and they won't kill you, I guess. And again, I don't want anyone killed, but this is crazy. So anyway, the Gypsy Jokers apparently... Oh, here's interrupting the police conference. Maybe.
No worries.
We'll just see the end of this, and then I gotta get out of here, guys. Here, let's move on. All right, here.
S-H-E-P-P-A-R-D. I'm a lieutenant with the Portland Police Bureau and currently the Public Information Officer. So I want to talk about 3 recent incidents that happened, one on Thursday and several that happened yesterday. The first one is that on Thursday, the new Focus Intervention Team was out patrolling, and they attempted to stop a vehicle that began driving erratically and eventually ran from them. An officer set up some stop sticks, which are meant to flatten tires of vehicles, on the entrance to I-84 from 39th. And as the vehicle was passing by, someone in the vehicle began shooting at the officer. So fortunately, the officer was not hit. The officer's okay. And but I wanted to thank the agencies in Washington that eventually were able to stop the disabled vehicle. And I wanted to thank our officers who are showing up every day, even though they're being shot at. This is very dangerous. It's becoming a more and more dangerous job. So I just wanted to thank the Washington agencies and our officers who are showing up every day. So last night, and I will just tell you guys, I'm gonna tell you everything I know at this point. I will give you a chance to ask questions later, but most likely my answer is going to be I can't give you comment because I'm going to give you everything that I do.
They're coming up in just a minute here.
So at just after 8 p.m., officers were called to the 900 block of Southwest Broadway Drive on a disturbance call. And while they were still en route, they got updates from radio, from our dispatchers, that shots were being fired. So officers put in a shelter-in-place order. I believe it is an apartment complex. They put in a shelter-in-place order, arrived, and set up a perimeter. While they were investigating and addressing...
Hey, press! Guess what? You guys want to talk about how a white supremacist kidnapped me and those charges got dropped? Y'all want to talk about how they told all these white vigilantes to stand back and stand by and act like these police did not cause it all? They are murdering us! They are murdering us!
How did they kidnap her?
Kidnap me!
They have a crane?
And almost
Sorry,
murdered me.
that's wrong. That is
on
wrong.
A 911 call. Gypsy Jokers. They are sending white supremacists to hurt us. Tell the fucking truth. Tell the fucking truth. Wait, all you media know this. Hold on. All you media, I'm the founder of Rise. I've been out here. They are sending people to kidnap us. They send people to kill us. And y'all need to know this.
Hold on. Do y'all know they purposely pulled a medic off of somebody dying last night and put him in fucking handcuffs?
Oh my God.
Did you drop that?
Hello, Capitalist Wizard.
Let's talk about the protester got detained giving medical aid last night by your police.
20 minutes for the ambulance.
Tell them what happened.
20 minutes.
Last night.
20
white supremacists.
Wait, hold on. Did she have a mask on before? Yeah, she did. She had a mask on the whole time. Why is she wearing a mask outside? Oh, because she's Antifa.
We're getting threats from all these white supremacists.
20.
Yes.
These white wait a minute. Hold up. Anyone? Does anyone here notice anything about this young lady? Bitch, you white. You're white.
They started shooting. Y'all let August 22nd. How many cops were off on August 22nd? How many cops were off? Letting them shoot at us in the street. Letting us buck all this shit. I ain't gonna stand here and let these cops lie. I'm not going to stand here and let these cops lie when they are sending gypsy jokers to kidnap us.
Now again, remember, it wasn't the gypsy jokers, the biker gang. The biker gang did not come to them. Okay, they did not come to them. The Antifa fucktards went to the gypsy jokers and started some shit. And so, I'm just thinking.
When they are.
Oh, by the way, really, thank you, Black Hebrew Israelite. By the way,
you're lined up. Right.
Okay, for the sponsor of the show, and the Deuce, who says, we, the Black Hebrew Israelite, don't support the would-be BLM assassin. He is not our kinfolk.
That's right.
Most BLM supporters are a bunch of racist white liberals and tranny kidfuckers.
That's right.
Okay, now I can't verify everything the Black Hebrew Israelite says, but that is his opinion, and he's sticking to it, and I'm okay with him sticking to it. You are a great American, sir. Thank you for sponsoring the show. Greatly appreciated. Thank you. Anyway, I'm gonna leave. Okay, so I kind of got to be done today, but I'm gonna leave that video or that link there available. There's a whole bunch of other articles that I just haven't got to. A lot of great stuff. Just a lot of news to get caught up on. And also on the Discord server, there's a lot of news to get caught up on. So if you are you got a day to kill, this is going to be a day to go through the news. I will be putting every single one of these links in the description down below as soon as, or during the outro. Thanks everybody for being here. If you haven't done so, hit the like button. There's 25 of you here. Hit the like button if you haven't done so already. If you want to sponsor, or share the stream before, during, after the show. Anytime, share the stream. And then also, if you want to sponsor the show, like our friends Ty Alexander, Manny, and Black Hebrew Israelite, you can do so at PDawgKnight.live. The link to Streamlabs will be in the upper right-hand corner there. And you can watch the show and participate in the chat from that very link. Or you can do YouTube SuperChats with the other couple of just options down below. I'll read what you write. If I see it, I'll read it. You know what I mean? Although I do have some editorial license, but I don't editorialize too much unless it's really super, super spicy. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I do have to go. Hello, John Arnott, by the way. I gotta go. Thanks for being here. Check the links. I'll let you know when I have the news link updated in the description. But it's time for me to go. Thanks for everyone showing up. Lurkers, workers, and all those people in the background. Thanks to you too. I know not everyone can participate in the chat because you're doing other shit. But thanks for everyone who's participating in the chat. That's also very heartwarming to me. Thank you for being here. I gotta go. My name's Dawg Knight, and I am out of here. Oops, out of here. Right there. Right there. I'm out of here. Bye-bye. Hey, this is Dawg Knight, and thank you for watching today on the Dawg Knight Channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cashapp, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm Dawg Knight, and I'm out of here.